This Week with Bob Mueller on News 2.
This week, to applause.
These two ideas are not in conflict. There are some who will say that parents don't belong in the decision-making process about their child's education. But
And jeers. Governor Lee delivers his 6th State of the State address.
so 2024 is the year to make school choice a reality for every Tennessee family, every family.
The governor's priorities: expanding a school voucher program.
This is a coupon and it's a scam for wealthy families.
Democrats don't think much of the idea.
Any executive immunity that may have protected him while he served as president no longer protects him against this prosecution.
Trump's claim of total presidential immunity is tossed aside by a federal appeals court.
The people want the flower.
And Tennessee's hemp industry fights back against a move that could put them out of business. More in our This Week cover story. Hello again and welcome to another edition of This Week. It was not the usual State of the State address as audience members shouted their opposition from the balcony. We also hear the Democratic reaction to the governor's speech. Nashville's hemp industry prepares for a fight to survive, but we begin with a federal appeals court dismissing Trump's claim of total presidential immunity from prosecution.
Tonight, in a scathing opinion, a federal appeals court rejecting Donald Trump's claims he has complete immunity from prosecution for anything he did as president, including his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The 3-judge panel unanimously ruling former President Trump has become Citizen Trump. Any executive immunity that may have protected him while he served as president no longer protects him against this prosecution. We cannot accept that the office of the presidency places its former occupants above the law for all time thereafter. Trump claims he cannot be tried for trying to overturn the election and his actions leading up to January 6th.
The president has to have immunity.
In court in January, the judge is deeply skeptical, asking if a president could order the assassination of his opponent and get away with it. Trump's lawyer arguing a president can't be charged unless he is first impeached and convicted by Congress.
Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
If he were impeached and convicted first. And
So your answer is no.
Today, the court was blunt. We cannot accept former President Trump's claim that the president has unbounded authority to commit crimes. The judge is also taking aim at the serious nature of the charges Trump faces, writing former President Trump's alleged efforts to remain in power despite losing the 2020 election were, if proven, an unprecedented assault on the structure of our government.
An embarrassing defeat for 7th District GOP Tennessee Congressman Mark Green, who chairs the Homeland Security Committee and has promised for months to impeach Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas for failing to enforce border security. The vote in the House failed when 4 Republicans sided with Democrats.
The resolution is not adopted.
Tonight, the House voted not to impeach Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas. If the majority of Republicans got their way, he would have been the first cabinet official impeached in almost 150 years.
Our border is an unbelievable disaster.
House Republicans accusing Mayorkas of willfully refusing to enforce immigration laws and of lying to Congress that the border is secure. Democrats have called the GOP's effort a political stunt.
Now they want to impeach a man for not doing his job when you didn't give him the resources to do it.
This vote comes as Mayorkas played a key role in negotiating the new Senate bipartisan border and foreign aid bill, which includes $20 billion for border security, $60 billion for Ukraine, and $14 billion for Israel. But the bill is on the brink of collapse after House Speaker Mike Johnson declared it dead on arrival in the House.
They sent us a supplemental funding proposal that has immigration reform, but not real border security reform.
This comes after former President Trump rallied Republicans against the bill.
All indications are this bill won't even move forward to the Senate floor. Why? A simple reason: Donald Trump.
Even though the House failed to impeach Mayorkas, the Democratic-controlled Senate was always certain to acquit him. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
At the state capitol, a legislative staffer was suspended following a confrontation with Representative Justin Jones. State Capitol reporter Chris O'Brien reports on a divide inside the Democratic Party.
A rift between House Democratic Caucus members grew after Memphis Democratic Representative Tory Harris claimed Nashville Democratic Representative Justin Jones tried to charge visitors to take a picture with him.
There were some students who came to advocate for funding for their school, and they were really wanting to take a photo with Representative Jones, and he was wanting to charge them $20 to take the photo.
That's untrue. That's not true. And I hope that you reported us back and you talked to Sarah Kyle, who was there.
So we did.
Heading back in, we jokingly said, no, $20 a picture. Kiddingly.
Harris says when one of his staffers confronted Jones with the allegation of charging for pictures, they argued and the staffer was suspended.
I was in the hallway and a staff member yelled at me. And that is unacceptable in this building for anyone to yell at anyone.
In a memo to the staffer on leave, Director of Legislative Administration Connie Ridley wrote, "Your conduct failed to maintain a satisfactory and harmonious relationship with the member and has caused disruption in daily operations for the member and other individuals who were impacted by your actions." I asked Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton about the incident. He wouldn't tell me exactly what was said, but essentially alluded that it couldn't be repeated.
You just cannot say that to a member. And so that's where we had discussions about.
In a tweet last week, Harris alluded to someone in the building as his, quote, most ineffective colleague.
My only ask is that moving forward for anybody, no matter what the legislator may be wanting to do or accomplish, that we try our absolute best to leave our staff out of it.
Continuing financial questions at TSU leads to a legislative move to vacate the Board of Trustees.
The Senate Government Operations Committee passed a bill that will vacate Tennessee State University's Board of Trustees. The bill will make it so the governor then has the appointing power over the majority of members.
As a trustee, as a board member, I'm hurt. As a student, I'm devastated.
The move comes after a series of financial missteps that were brought to light by a 2023 audit and continued this year, with multiple students telling our station they have not received their promised financial aid. Not long after, the university sent an email to alumni asking to save our students by sending money because TSU has exhausted all resources.
One of a couple of things has happened. One, the board has acknowledged what's happening and endorsed it candidly, or they're asking questions and not getting the answer. Both of those are unacceptable.
But TSU students, faculty, alumni, and advocates say the state has underfunded the university for decades, leading to a lot of issues.
This legislation, the way we're about to do it today, is irresponsible. And let me add, it's unprecedented. We have never done this to a state institution.
We hear you, and we're working to make these changes. And we would appreciate you hearing us and allowing us more time to make these changes.
But Republicans were unmoved, saying that audit is past due. The bill passed along party lines.
The bill passes and moves on to calendar.
And now heads to the Senate floor for a full vote. In Nashville, Chris O'Brien.
Now to our This Week cover story. Hemp products that can get you high are legal in Tennessee. People lined up this week to fight proposed rules they say would gut the hemp industry. News 2's Adam Mincer was there.
Despite owning competing stores, today hundreds of hemp business owners were united.
The people want the flowers.
The Tennessee Department of Agriculture is in the process of finalizing new cannabis rules and requirements, something they were directed to do when the General Assembly passed a law last year. That law regulates hemp products like Delta-8 and THCA. But while many in the industry supported the law, saying it added safety and legitimacy to the industry, hemp business owners are now afraid the department's interpretation of the law could destroy their industry.
What's at stake is not the legality of these products for people to possess and have on the street. What's at stake is the ability for retailers to sell it.
Particularly THCA flower in its raw form.
Under current laws, it's illegal to sell hemp or cannabis so long as it contains less than 0.3% Delta-9 THC, which is the type of THC that is known for getting people high. THCA is non-psychoactive, but when it's exposed to heat, it converts into Delta-9 THC. While the sale of these products are debated, those growing hemp in Tennessee feel left behind.
The reality is a lot of these retailers are already buying product out of state to put on their store shelves
because it can't be grown here.
Among the voices of support for THCA, Cowden told the department if they're going to continue allowing retailers to sell it, the laws should allow him to grow it.
We're all in the hemp industry and they're selling hemp and I'm growing hemp. Why are we tested on two different metrics? There should be one set of rules for the hemp industry, and if everyone's going to be selling this product, I feel as a grower I should be able to grow this product in Tennessee.
If you want to submit a written comment, you have until the 9th. 2,000 people have already done so as of this morning, according to the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. The official rules will come out July 1st. For more details, go to this story on WKRN.com.
And stay with us. This Week continues in a moment.